It was hope.
Active.
It's family.
Beautiful.
Caring.
Community.
More so people and more like family.
We took pride in maintaining the appearance of the neighborhood. My husband especially loved to keep the lawns cut. And he would not only cut his lawn, but he would cut both of the neighbors on either side of us. And we did that in order to help maintain the neatness of the neighborhood.
Like you used to sit out on the porch, you talk to your neighbor and everybody just, we had a big snow back here years ago. Biggest snow I ever had. We got together, all the men got together and shoveled Fuller Avenue out so we could get our cars out. But you don't find that no more.
As a child, I remember my mom would often send me to a neighbor's house. Go to Mrs. Thorne's house, get a cup of sugar. Go to Miss Cannon's house, get 2 eggs. I'm baking a cake. I ran out of eggs. And I like that. That neighborhood camaraderie was always strong.
I'm always cleaning my street. Sometimes I'll be the only one out there and I'll pick up trash all around the neighborhood. And volunteering at Guilford, just letting the kids know that someone really cares. I mean, just to be there to have them see someone from the neighborhood who cares about what they're doing and try and give them some kind of guidance. And our neighborhood is not the worst of neighborhoods, but it could be a better neighborhood.
One of the things that was impressionable to me is that when we first came to the neighborhood, the community was a community. The people really rallied together and looked after the youth in the community. There were so many things for young people to do in our community because the people were concerned about the children and their growth and their development within the community. So I find that there's been a lot of things that have changed since then. People become so consumed within what they wanted to do that they have primarily forgotten about our youth. And the community has suffered because they have become so consumed with themselves that they've forgotten to pour into the future. And I think that when we get back to those things and caring about our young people, I think we'll see a great change within our community.
But what we noticed that the whole neighborhood looked like for everybody's kid. My mama might go to the store, but mama called next door, Corey, would come over and be watching you. Or the daddy up the street would be watching you. And for a kid, that was kind of crazy. The community was a gathering. Everybody knew where everybody was.
One of the things that I remembered growing up as a child is that there were a lot of black-owned businesses. And a lot of those business owners lived within the community. And the business owners came out and they kept the streets clean, and or they perhaps gave a child a few coins to sweep their streets. And so there was a sense of pride. People didn't have to go far to get what they needed. Everything that they needed was right in the community.
And then you see people today who lived around you at that time, and they recognize you and talk to you, and they, you get to talk about the fun things that we did as a neighborhood.
Battles between different communities. There was the same wars that go on today, so I definitely won't want to paint the picture that these things did not go on. However, once we fought, it was over with. But today, something else has happened wherein people just don't fight, they kill. And when that spirit of murder comes upon us, it only grows into something far more vicious.
I remember Mom sending me to the store with a note. And I gave him Mr. Lou's grocery store. I gave Mr. Lou the note. He read the note, went in the back, and came back and gave me 2 bags of groceries. There was no money exchange. And that was a business that took place all over this neighborhood. What I remember most about Willow Playground wasn't exactly the pool, it was the trees. It was full of trees. I remember the willow trees, I remember the oak trees, because the acorns would fall and we would throw those, and the swings, and this big sliding board, this very large sliding board, and a sandbox. I remember playing in the sandbox. The 4700 block of Alhambra was not a place where you could do something bad. You couldn't throw no rocks, couldn't say any bad words. You would have to leave Alhambra. Tourette's was, I don't know exactly what it was, but it was a community organization to bring some sort of jobs and recreation to this community. The recreation center was at Winston Elementary School. That's the only rec that we knew about. And you can go there, you can play outside, and you can play inside. The Tourette's brought it closer to us, and I think that's when they started the development of where Walter P. Carter is.
Well, the neighborhood was a lot better than it is now, and I moved here.
Confusion.
Change.
Sense of hopelessness.
Disconnect.